Baby Boy is an urban drama released in 2001. The film was written and directed by the late John Singleton, who had many iconic black films under his belt, such as Poetic Justice and Boys in the Hood. The movie starred Taraji P. Henson and Tyrese Gibson as Yvette and Jody, a young couple going through ups and downs in their on-again, off-again relationship. My personal perspective of this movie changed a lot as I became older. I still enjoy the combination of comedy and drama used to establish character personalities, showcase cultural norms, and make the storyline relatable and realistic, making this film a classic in African American culture. Jody was Yvette's unemployed, cheating boyfriend, as well as the father of her child. He didn't want to move in with her because he simply wasn't ready to grow up and be the man of any household. He preferred to live with his mother. Yvette worked. She had her own place and her own car, which she allowed Jody to drive around at his convenience. He would often use her car to go on cheating sprees, sometimes with her coworkers, sometimes with his other baby's mother, Peanut. Jody's reckless, selfish, and childish ways would take a toll on Yvette as well as their relationship. Today, I want to discuss 3 unpopular opinions I have about the movie Baby Boy. Number 1. Jody deserved to be put in that chokehold by Melvin. Melvin, portrayed by Ving Rhames, was the new boyfriend of Jody's mother, Juanita, played by A.J. Johnson. Jody did not get along with Melvin and had a lot of heat for him. He apparently didn't like the fact that he thought Melvin was a thug and Jody was very overprotective of his mother. One day, while Jody and Melvin were having a conversation, Jody mentioned the fact that he rolled up on Melvin's son at his school and questioned him about Melvin. This brought up bad memories for the child because Melvin had apparently been violent toward his mother in the past. Jody went on to basically talk to Melvin in a disrespectful manner, even calling him out of his name. This set Melvin off, who then put Jody in a tight chokehold to set him straight. Now, some of the things Melvin said while Jody was choked up were extreme, and I'm not excusing any of that. I'm also not excusing the fact that Melvin was physically violent toward his other baby's mother. However, Jody had been unnecessarily rude, defensive, and outright disrespectful to Melvin, who seemed to have a genuine interest in forming a bond with him before this moment. Involving someone else's child and prying into personal family business was going too far, and someone needed to teach Jody a lesson. Number 2, Yvette should not have stayed with Jody. Many people idolize the relationship between Yvette and Jody and think their relationship and behavior was cute. They were young. However, I don't feel that their relationship should be idolized in any way. It was very entertaining and great for the movie's purpose. However, a better ending to the movie, in my opinion, would have been Yvette finally seeing her worth and leaving Jody. Unfortunately, that did not happen. The movie ended with Yvette and Jody being engaged, with yet another baby on the way. But I don't believe that Jody had grown up. He had a traumatic experience of participating in a murder that he didn't seem to have dealt with. He hadn't undergone any therapy, and he overall was just too immature. If anything, he just settled for Yvette for the moment because she was familiar and she was convenient. Number 3, there was actually a lot of positivity in this movie. Clearly, based on my first 2 unpopular opinions, there are many negative things portrayed in this movie, including broken families, abusive men, and infidelity. With our generation's newfound awareness of toxic relationships, generational curses, and knowing your worth, it's easy to point out how this movie might not be received well today. However, there were some positive moments and relationships portrayed in the movie. Regardless of my personal experience, seeing Yvette and Jody work things out was positive because they did have a child together and one on the way, and broken families are all too common in our community. They also seemed to be happy and were planning to be married, so hopefully they would be on the right path to change. Another positive was that Jody was involved in both of his children's lives. He did not have a steady source of income at the beginning of the movie, but he still had a positive and loving relationship with his children. I also loved P and Jody's friendship. P, portrayed by Omar Gooding, was a lot more bout it than Jody, who was just a baby boy. However, he and Jody shared a bond, and Jody had a positive influence on him. Instead of continuing to indulge in a life of crime, Jody wanted to be legit and have a real business. Even though Jody's idea of a legit business was selling stolen clothes, it was better than nothing. Jody even introduced Pete to his business as well. Well, at least he tried to. Overall, in the end, each person featured in the movie, except for Rodney, rest in peace, went on to try to live better, get along, and be better people. It's the smallest details in this movie, like Melvin asking Jody, "You want something from the store?" in that classic stepdaddy type of way right after choking him out. These are the things that resonate with us and make us love watching this movie. I have my likes and dislikes about portrayals and certain tropes featured in the film. But what makes Baby Boy a masterpiece is that I can truly relate to each character and situation in some way. Whether they remind me of someone I know, something I've done or said, it feels familiar in a nostalgic way, and that's why it's a classic today. What are your unpopular opinions about Baby Boy? Do you agree with mine? Please share your thoughts below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested in more content. Ciao!